Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. We are beginning tonight with a significant development about a 40-year-old cold case murder.
Tracy Pruitt, the suspect accused of killing a Spokane man in his South Hill home, made an appearance in a Spokane County courtroom this afternoon. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley has been tracking this case since Pruitt's initial arrest and has the very latest tonight. Amanda?
Well, this is Tracy Pruitt's first time appearing before a Spokane County judge. Police arrested him in Los Angeles in November for the murder charges. Now, he was extradited from California and booked into Spokane County jail last night.
Tracy Pruitt is accused of killing Spokane businessman Archie Rutherford at his South Hill home in 1982. Court documents described Archie's murder as very violent and gruesome. His wife discovered his body after returning home from a trip. An autopsy determined Archie suffered multiple injuries, including a stab wound to his neck. For 40 years, investigators didn't have any strong leads to a murder suspect. That's until they ran a DNA test last year. A match report confirmed the blood found in the kitchen at the crime scene was Pruitt's DNA. Court documents also say one set of fingerprints found on the victim's stolen Honda matched the suspect's. Pruitt previously served a 27-year prison sentence for rape and robbery charges in Ohio. He was living in L.A. at the time of his arrest in November. He is charged with aggravated murder and murder in the first degree. The suspect made his first appearance in Spokane this afternoon.
Based on leaving this area right after the incident and then picking up a number of other convictions for violent offenses, I do believe you are a flight risk and a risk to commit other violent offenses.
The judge kept Pruitt's bond at $1 million.
Now, the suspect is 62 years old and would have been 22 years old at the time of Archie Rutherford's death. And investigators do not believe the two knew each other. Pruitt is expected to enter a guilty or not guilty plea in 2 weeks. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you. And we are continuing tonight with an update from the University of Idaho. The owner of this King Road home where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered last year is now being donated to the university.
Today we have learned the school is going to demolish the home and create a healing garden and memorial for Kaylee, Xana, Ethan, and Madison. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy has more tonight from Moscow.
Police tape still circles this entire scene, but there are signs of change at the King Road home in Moscow, Idaho, where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. The university now owns this property and says it'll be torn down.
To get rid of that place that's so painful for our community. It's the place where these 4 students were brutally murdered, and the reminder still stands.
Now boarded up and blocked off with warnings against trespassers, the King Road home where Xana, Madison, Ethan, and Kaylee were killed is likely seeing its last winter.
We're hoping to begin demolition just as quickly as possible and definitely would like to see it come down this semester.
Jody Walker says the University of Idaho hopes by spring this property will be leveled, discouraging those who are sensationalizing what's become a painful reminder for this community.
The owner of the King Road property approached the university about receiving the home, and the university accepted that donation.
While one reminder is coming down, the University of Idaho will be far from forgetting.
We absolutely have students on the planning committee for this. It is important that we have students. This is a space for them.
A memorial and healing garden is being planned. So far, no site has been selected, but Walker says it's a step toward healing.
They're all just signs of community and a Vandal family trying to help each other move forward. So all are healthy next steps.
Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Just into our newsroom, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office is looking for more victims after they say a man went on a crime spree.
Deputies say it started with the violent attack of an elderly woman, and we do want to warn you the video released from the Sheriff's Office is disturbing. So according to the Sheriff's Office, 29-year-old Robert J. Kelly could face several felony and misdemeanor charges after attacking this woman and stealing a car. Investigators say Kelly was arrested for other crimes days later, and the owner of the meat business recognized him from the security video.
So investigators say after the attack, Kelly apologized, grabbed a bag of potato chips, and then took off in a stolen car. For the full video and more on this story, just go to our website, KREM.com.
Turning some developing news at this hour, police are investigating a suspicious death. Earlier today, Spokane police were in a standoff at a house on East Garland and North Perry. Police say the standoff was related to a death in Elk.
Earlier today, several blocks were shut down during that standoff. They have since reopened, though. KREM 2 is following this situation closely. We'll bring you updates as soon as we have them.
All right, switching gear to weather. We have been experiencing some brutally cold temperatures over the past few days, but at least the weekend's here.
Hey, we love that. Our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, also loves that the temperatures are getting a little bit warmer. Jeremy?
Even if it's a little bit, it's a big deal, right? Right now, beautiful scene over in Coeur d'Alene as the sun continues to set. It's not down yet. Believe it or not, we're hanging on to some of those longer nights already. Right now, temperatures sit right around 20 in Coeur d'Alene, about an 8-degree drop from where we sat 1 hour ago, 23 in Spokane, 24 in Pullman. So as soon as that sun goes down, temps are going to plummet. I heard earlier that if it drops below 20, they're going to make Tent City over at Gonzaga a thing of the past. So, hey kids, it's going to keep dropping, just so you know. That's thanks to clear skies overhead. Eventually we'll see a little more cloud cover build in, but not until kind of overnight and midday tomorrow, I think is our biggie. By the time we get to Sunday, though, we wake up to a little bit of snow across the inland northwest. It moves out by Sunday evening, but all said and done, could get a couple of inches. I think it's widespread, 1 to 2, maybe 3 in lower elevations. And then if you head up high, 4 to 6. And that includes many of those mountains across the inland northwest. So could be a pow day for many of us. That's Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday next week, chance of snow sticks around. So if you're looking for that car wash, maybe hold off another day or so.
That's what I'll do. All right, Jeremy, thank you. In Idaho, detectives with the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office arrested 3 people with guns and drugs following 2 separate traffic stops this week. During the first stop, detectives seized more than a pound of meth along with other drugs and a 9mm handgun. Then in the second stop, they seized about 450 counterfeit fentanyl pills, heroin, meth, and a loaded handgun.
Nearly 1 week after WashDOT removed the Magnolia Street pedestrian bridge, the agency is inviting the public to provide feedback on a new proposed pedestrian route. That open house is this coming Wednesday, March 1st from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Scott Elementary School. The bridge was originally supposed to be replaced with the north-south corridor, but was taken down because of damage and structural problems found earlier this year.
Today marks 1 year since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, triggering the deadliest conflict in Europe since World War II.
A ceremony held in Kyiv today marked the somber occasion. Ukraine's president called the Russian invasion, quote, the longest day of our lives, and promised to continue to push for victory as the war enters its 2nd year. CBS correspondent Willie James Inman has more now.
One man, Vladimir Putin, started this war. One man can end it.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken told the UN Security Council the U.S. remains steadfast in its support for Ukraine.
If Russia stops fighting and leaves Ukraine, the war ends. If Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine ends.
The Pentagon announced a new $2 billion security assistance package, including more ammunition and small high-tech drones. The latest package brings the total U.S. commitment to more than $32 billion since Russia invaded Ukraine a year ago. Meanwhile, Poland delivered the first German Leopard tanks to Ukraine and says it plans to send more soon. The White House announced a coordinated effort with G7 partners that includes new sanctions targeting key sectors of the Russian economy and more than 200 people and organizations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky marked the first year of the war, saying his country could defeat Russia if allies remain united and keep providing arms. On Friday, China unveiled a 12-point plan calling for Russia-Ukraine peace talks and ending sanctions against the Kremlin. Zelensky says he's planning to meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
Sandy Williams will forever be remembered as a pioneer and the voice for so many people right here in the inland Northwest.
I knew everything that Sandy did, but I didn't. I think I said at one of the services, I'm very aware of what she accomplished, but I wasn't as aware of all the people's lives that she touched.
Next week, we are taking a look back at Sandy's life and the legacy that she left behind. So join us on Tuesday, February 28th at 6:30 for Sandy's Story, celebrating a civil rights activist.